How are we doing, guys? Today is the day Leeds United turned 100 years old, and what a journey it's been. It's been absolutely incredible, hasn't it? There's been high points, low points. There's been a bit of everything, hasn't there? You know, there's been dramas, terrible owners, great managers, terrible managers, a bit of everything. It's just been an incredible journey. You know, I'm not from Leeds. I'm not from anywhere near Leeds, to be honest. I'm, supporting Leeds as a kid. Everyone was at Liverpool. Everyone was Everton. Everyone was Man United. Everyone was Man City. Leeds wasn't a popular club to support. But when you grow up supporting Leeds, you watch players like Ollie Decor. Personally, one of my personal favourites, Mark Viduka, Rio Ferdinand. It's cringe-worthy maybe mentioning Rio Ferdinand, but wow, what a player. I'm not going to mention another name, but we all had our heroes. Lee Bowyer, what a hero. Growing up as a kid, watching those play football, and you never imagine at that age you're thinking that a club will be where it is now, or where it has been, even worse situations than where it is now. Obviously now we're in a good moment. We've still got heroes now. We're still heroes at this football club now. Marcelo Bielsa, he's the main man. El Loco. It has been an incredible journey. There has been highs and lows, and maybe this season's the season, who knows. But I'm just going to talk to you about kind of like the journey supporting this football club. Obviously my first ever game at Ellen Road was September 2005 against Brighton. Drew 3-3. It was a Seb Carroll masterclass, and then we signed Seb Carroll the next summer. Pretty much a disastrous time at Leeds, but I remember that game like yesterday, to be honest. An incredible day in the Cop, and it was a poor Leeds performance. It was a season 05-06 when we made the playoff final, and David Healy scored 2 and bailed us out the rubbish, basically. I think Jonathan Douglas got a last minute equaliser in that game. We made a real mess of it, 3-3 draw, but I was hooked. I was hooked on that moment. But I'd seen Leeds before that. Not growing up too near to Leeds. My dad worked away quite a lot when I was a kid, so I didn't get to see a game live until September 2005. So still to see a Premier League game at Ellen Road, that is the ultimate ambition. Champions League football's an ultimate dream, but it's probably a million miles away at the minute. Certainly Champions League football part of things. But it's been incredible. That season alone was absolutely unbelievable, highs and lows. A bit similar to last season, to be honest. At one point it looked like we were definitely going to go up automatically. We made the mess of it. We finished the season poorly. There was Preston away. Wow, that's probably one of the first big memories watching Leeds United, was that Preston away game. The lights going out, Rob Hulse and Fraser Richardson scoring, and then we made the playoff final, and that's a day. That's where you realise, it's heartbreaking supporting this football club. It's genuinely heartbreaking. Obviously had the relegations, but it's not something I remember particularly well. Next season after that, 06-07, obviously it was a complete disaster, but I think the worst 2 weeks I think I've ever had supporting this football club came in October of that season. We got beaten 5-1 at Luton, got beat 4-1 at Preston. We were getting absolutely hammered every week, and it just looked like this club is in a mess. Then we go on to the next season, even more lower points. Dennis Wise comes into the football club. Dennis Wise became Leeds United manager. Dennis Wise, we're still letting that sink in now. It's been and gone 12 years ago. He still managed this football club. Steve Evans managed this football club. Neil Warnock managed this football club. Again, incredible lows. And then you just see things like that. And then of course 07-08 happens. 07-08 probably wasn't the most successful, but probably the most incredible season I've had supporting this football club. Tranmere away. Sorry about this backband interference there. Tranmere away, 11th of August 2007. Probably one of the most important days in Leeds United's history that day. Easily one of Leeds United's most important ever days that day. Half time in that Tranmere game, I thought the club was done. I genuinely thought it was done. Financial ruin. Just Chelsea manager, Chelsea assistant, Chelsea owner, Gwyn Williams from Chelsea, etc. It was low. It was really, really low. Half time, we're getting absolutely outplayed at Tranmere. Tranmere are taking the piss out of us, basically. Half time, fans are fighting amongst themselves. It's a low point. But that second half against Tranmere, absolutely critical for that season, for the whole history of the club. I'm convinced to this day, if we hadn't have had that second half against Tranmere, this club would have been in absolute ruin. We had minus 15 points, everyone seemed down, but something happened in that second half. Whatever Dennis Wise, to be fair to him, said at half time in that game, something happened in that moment. We kicked on. Matt Heath got an equaliser, Trezor Candle last minute winner, and then that season we started really well. Again, typical Leeds, we made a mess of it. Doncaster 08 playoffs final, we made a mess of it, but then we had the Carlisle memory, Johnny Howson, 2 goals, fantastic scenes. 08-09 happens, Macca came into the football club. Well, in fact, he came into the football club around 07-08. That was a high point, that, seeing a club legend come back. We're in League One, but we've got one of our own at the football club. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out. I'd never ever say anything against Macca, but it's just one of those things. It never quite worked out. And then, probably the greatest manager we've had in my time supporting the football club, Simon Grayson, arrived at the football club, and what a 4 years it was. He didn't have any help, let's be honest. He had no help at this football club. He developed some fantastic players. Every single player improved under Simon Grayson. He took us to some unbelievable highs. Obviously we got the promotion. In the end, we got the promotion. We made a mess of that in 09-10. Won at Old Trafford. I never thought in my lifetime I'd see Leeds win at Old Trafford. Got the draw against Tottenham. Totally outplayed Liverpool here. When they were at a high point under Rafa Benitez, Steven Gerrard played that game. Fernando Torres came on. We totally outplayed them. We had a bit of bad luck. We lost that game, but there was pride at the football club at that point. 2010, 2011, probably the best football I've ever seen Leeds United play. Going forward, fantastic. Defensively, a bit of a shambles, but it was entertaining. Every game was entertaining. What a season that was. Again, typical Leeds. It ended up in disappointment. It did ultimately end up in disappointment, but Becchio, Gradle, Snodgrass, Howson, that season, unbelievable, that front four. And we talk about this moment, but you can't forget how entertaining that was to watch. And then you go to the low points again. You go back to 11-12. Max Gradle leaves the club. One of my heroes, Max Gradle. The way he turned it around after that Bristol Rovers game. Johnny Howson left the club in the January. Bradley Johnson, Neil Kilkenny left on freeze. It was a blow. It was a massive blow. Losing all those players. Kasper Schmeichel left as well, and we didn't replace him. We replaced him with poor quality. 11-12 happened. Disappointing. We didn't really play well. But again, Simon Grayson was still getting results at this football club. We were 4th or 5th around December, and then it sort of fell to pieces around January. But it was not Simon Grayson's fault. That's the thing. He wasn't helped. I think it's something I talk about a lot. I think we could have got promoted a lot sooner had he been able to build his own squad. I know for a fact, Simon Grayson, I've spoken to Clint Snodden, Simon Grayson wanted Gareth McCauley. He saw the defensive problem. We didn't sort it out. Simon Grayson loses his job. I'm not going to ruin this video by saying my thoughts on Simon Grayson losing his job. He lost his job. Neil Warnock came in, complete disaster. Neil Warnock left. Brian McDermott came in, lovely fella. Again, it just didn't work out for him. It was a bad time. Obviously, the 31st of January 2014, what a day that was as well. Brian McDermott sacked. Okay, we had a few poor results. Massimo Cellino is out there at Ellen Road. He's been boxed in at Ellen Road. He still manages to provide the club 2 months later. Brian McDermott's reinstated. We win 5-1 against Huddersfield. Absolutely bizarre. Our manager's been sacked the day before. We go 1 down, we're getting absolutely hammered, and then we produce another unbelievable second half performance, 5-1. That's a great memory as well. That season was a disaster in the end. Brian McDermott goes. 14-15 happens, the first pre-season under Massimo Cellino. That pre-season was a disaster. Dave Hockaday comes in. Ross McCormack sold. Ross McCormack, what a player he was for this football club as well, particularly that season before in 13-14. And then it just didn't happen for us 14-15. Dave Hockaday came in, should never have got the job. Neil Redders came in, we turned it round. He only was a caretaker. Neil Redfern didn't get the job. Why didn't Neil Redfern get the job? Darko Milanic came in, complete disaster, unfortunately, not his fault necessarily. And then Neil Redfern finished the season off, and somehow we stayed up. That was another season where I thought, you know what, we're going back to League One here. Somehow we pulled it round. Lewis Cook, Alex Mowat, unbelievable performances they put in. I think Lewis Cook was about 18 at the time. He was unbelievable that season, and we somehow kept hold of him for a couple more years. And then obviously Alex Mowat was scoring from like 30-40 yards every game. But then there's more seasons of mediocrity. Uwe Rosler came in, sacked early doors. Steve Evans came in, some of the worst football I've ever seen Leeds United play. Again, had to go, he went. Then Gary Monk came in. To be fair to him, Gary Monk, he turned things around a little bit. I didn't particularly, I thought, there was problems there. I think sort of on the outside of things, I don't think many players got on with Gary Monk, but he did turn things around. We were grinding results out. Pontus Jansson came in, Carl Bartley, fantastic centre-back partnership, kept clean sheets every game. Berra was an absolute warrior at left-back. Everything went right. Unfortunately, Chris Wood as well. Chris Wood banging goals in every single game. He was getting one chance a game, he was taking it. But that season again, we fell apart. there's quite a common theme here. We fell apart on that season. Gary Monk leaves for Middlesbrough. Charlie Taylor obviously doesn't re-sign for us. He goes to Burnley. Chris Wood goes to Burnley. Carl Bartley doesn't come back. 17-18 was not a good season. It started well enough under Thomas Christensen, lovely fella. I really wanted it to work out for him. It didn't work out for him, sadly, and we just never really looked right. And then you go on to, obviously Paul Heckingbottom came in, complete disaster. And then we go into this time. Marcelo Bielsa, El Loco. El Loco is managing of Leeds United Football Club, not in the Premier League, in the Championship. It's something they still can't get a head around every day. We're watching incredible players, Mateus Klick, Pablo Hernandez. Obviously Pontus Jansson, but Pontus Jansson moved on. Ben White's come in. Liam Cooper's been turned around. Calvin Phillips has been absolutely fantastic and probably one of the best players I've seen him at times supporting Leeds United, and it's been pretty incredible. But here we are, October 2019. Can this be the season? But it's been an incredible journey supporting this football club. Bit of a different type of video this, but what a journey it has been supporting this football club. See you later, guys. Make sure you leave in the comments down below your reasons for supporting Leeds United and your best memories supporting the club.